Good evening and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in 30 minutes. Let's begin. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a public rally in Jharkhand's Karwa constituency on Monday. The eastern Indian state will go to the polls in two phases on 13th and 20th of November, with results scheduled on the 23rd of November. Addressing the rally, Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlighted the expansion and strengthening of Jharkhand's connectivity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also attended a public meeting in Jharkhand's Chaibasa and was felicitated by former Jharkhand Chief Minister Champai Soren and other BJP leaders. Prime Minister Narendra Modi appreciated the affection, enthusiasm and passion of the people in Chaibasa and said the NDA is dedicated to the development of Jharkhand. President of India Draupadi Murmu interacted with women achievers in the Indian aviation sector at Rashtrapati Bhavan on Monday. Meeting held under the initiative called The President with the People aims at establishing a deeper connection with people and recognize their contributions. President Draupadi Murmu met a group of students from Gyarupok town of northeastern state of Manipur who visited the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi as part of the National Integration Tour. Vice President of India Jagdeep Dhankar presided over the 70th annual meeting of the General Body of Indian Institute of Public Administration in New Delhi on Monday. The Vice President paid tributes to Mahatma Gandhi and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel at the campus of the institute. The visit of Indian consular officials to Hindu Sabha temple in Brampton City of Canada was met with violence by anti-India elements on Sunday. Many leaders in Canada have condemned the violence. India's Ministry of External Affairs condemned the violence and urged Canada to take necessary measures to protect all the places of worship and to ensure that those responsible for the violence are prosecuted. The Indian High Commission in Canada said that it is deeply disappointing that such disruptions being allowed for routine consular work. The 7th session of the International Solar Alliance began on Monday in New Delhi. India's Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Prahlad Joshi, and President of the ISA Assembly addressed the opening session. India was elected as the President and France co-President of the International Solar Alliance. Together, the nations will lead over 120 countries in advancing solar adoption globally. At least 35 people have been killed and several injured after a bus carrying 40 passengers plunged into 200 feet deep gorge in Almora, Uttarakhand on Monday morning. 3 injured have been airlifted to AIIMS Hospital in Rishikesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi condoled the loss of lives in the accident, announcing an ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees for the next of kin and 50,000 rupees for injured. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami announced assistance of 4 lakh rupees each to the families of the deceased and 1 lakh rupees each to the injured. National Conference leader and 7-time MLA Abdul Rahim Rathee was unanimously elected as the new Speaker of the Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly on Monday. The Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Manoj Sinha, addressed the newly elected legislators in the Legislative Assembly on Monday. India and Algeria signed an MOU on bilateral defence cooperation, paving the way for deeper collaboration on shared security challenges. The MOU elevates the defence partnership between both the nations. 8th edition of Ganga Utsav began at Chanti Ghat of Haridwar in Uttarakhand on Monday. National Mission for Clean Ganga holds this annual festival to commemorate the anniversary of the declaration of the Ganga as India's national river. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar inaugurated the new Consulate General of India in Australia's Brisbane on Monday. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar interacted with the Indian community and Indian origin students at the launch of the consulate and called it a landmark moment and milestone in the growing India-Australia ties. Jaishankar visited Australia's Humanitarian Logistics Capability Warehouse for humanitarian assistance and disaster response supplies to the Pacific. The minister is on a 5-day visit to Australia. The Abu Dhabi International Petroleum Exhibition and Conference 2024 opened on Monday in Abu Dhabi. The four-day event marks its 40th anniversary as a premier global energy forum. India's Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas Hardeep Singh Puri inaugurated the Indian Pavilion, marking India's significant presence at one of the world's premier energy exhibitions. Participating in the Global Leaders and Energy Transition in Ministerial panel, the minister outlined India's ambitious plans for an energy transition and emphasized India's success in making energy more affordable. With US presidential election on the 5th of November, former President and Republican candidate Donald Trump held his closing rally in Georgia with focus on immigration. Meanwhile, Democrat Kamala Harris made her closing pitch in Michigan, where she committed to working towards an end to the conflict in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, during his visit to the Lebanon border, reiterated his commitment to pushing Hezbollah beyond the Litani River during his visit to Lebanon border. Hezbollah on Sunday launched a barrage of missiles at an Israeli military base in the northern coastal city of Haifa. Israel on Monday officially notified the United Nations of its decision to cancel its agreement with UNRWA, the country's foreign ministry. The United Nations Security Council is set to convene an emergency meeting on Monday to address North Korea's recent intercontinental ballistic missile test that Pyongyang claims was successful. In response to North Korea's latest long-range missile test, South Korea, Japan and the United States conducted a joint air drill involving a heavy bomber on Sunday. The European Union's Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell held talks with his South Korean counterpart Cho Tae-kyol on Monday amid growing concerns in Seoul over the dispatch of North Korean troops to Russia for its conflict with Ukraine. Russian forces targeted Ukraine's second-largest city, Kharkiv, and the surrounding region with guided aerial bombs late on Sunday evening. The strike wounding at least 15 people and damaging residential buildings and infrastructure facility in the region. Russian forces claimed control of one more settlement and targeted various Ukrainian sites, including a Ukrainian military train. Russian air defense systems also intercepted Ukrainian missiles, rocket shells and drones. Ukraine's military on Monday shot down 50 out of 80 Russian drones during an overnight attack. 27 drones were locationally lost in various regions due to the impact of electronic warfare. German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock arrived in Kyiv on Monday, pledging Berlin's continued support for Ukraine. This is her 8th visit to Ukraine. Incumbent President Maia Sandu won a second term in Moldova's pivotal presidential runoff elections, gaining 55% of the votes on Monday. Sandu said her priority in the coming years would be to be a president for all Moldovans. Protesters scuffled with police outside the municipal building in Turkey's southeastern province of Mardin on Monday after the removal of 3 elected pro-Kurdish mayors of their posts. At close, the Sensex plunged 941.88 points to settle at 78,782.24. Nifty tanked 309 points to close at 23,995.35. Gold futures maturing on the 5th of December stood at 78,410 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity index. Silver futures maturing on the 5th of December stood at 94,845 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. Rupee falls 5 paise to hit all-time low of 84.11 against the US dollar. The US Federal Reserve is widely expected to cut interest rates again this week, while votes are being counted in one of the closest fought presidential races in decades. 8 members of the OPEC Plus group of oil-producing nations have taken a decision to extend supply cuts until the end of December. The International Monetary Fund will begin its review of Egypt's loan program on Tuesday. The review is the 4th under Egypt's latest 46-month IMF loan program that was approved in 2022 and expanded to $8 billion this year. Striking workers at Boeing will vote on Monday on the aerospace giant's latest contract proposal to end a bruising walkout that has dragged on for more than 7 weeks. The vote is expected to pave the way for production to resume at 2 Seattle area factories that build the 737 MAX and 777 aircraft after workers voted down 2 previous offers. Time to take a short break. We'll be right back.
जिंदगी की हर छोटी बड़ी जरूरत के लिए आप जो सपने सजाते हैं, बस उसी उम्मीद को तो हम सहारा लगाते हैं। SIP आपकी सेविंग्स को आपकी खातिर काम पर लगाएगी। आज ही अपनी पहली SIP की शुरुआत करें। अधिक जानकारी के लिए अपने वित्तीय सलाहकार से परामर्श करें। LIC म्यूचुअल फंड द्वारा निवेशक शिक्षा की एक पहल।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार के जोखिम के अधीन है। योजना से संबंधित सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
राजा आओ ये देखो मैसेज। कहते हैं वीडियो लाइक करके 500 रुपया रोज कमाओ। बस पहले थोड़ा पैसा दे के ललचाएंगे, फिर बोलेंगे कि और कमाना है तो पैसा भरो। हम दिन भर चूना लगाते हैं और ये लोग हम ही को चूना लगाने चले हैं। पान वाला हूँ, मूर्ख नहीं हूँ। याद रहे, UPI कहता है कि अगर कोई आसान कमाई का लालच दे तो कहो मैं मूर्ख नहीं हूँ।
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching Express News. Let's continue. New Delhi's air quality touched a new low as many areas reported an AQI of 600 and above, the worst this season so far. Yamuna River in New Delhi was covered with a sheet of toxic foam over its surface on Monday. Pakistan's capital and second largest city, Lahore, recorded an AQI of 1900, making it to the list of the world's most polluted cities on Sunday. Spain's government is deploying 7,500 troops to its eastern region hit by devastating floods where at least 217 people are killed. Cleanup efforts across flood-stricken Valencia have entered their 6th day with massive search and rescue operation underway. The King and Queen of Spain were pelted with mud and other objects by angry protesters during a visit to flood-hit Valencia. Heavy rain battered Spain's Barcelona and disrupted rail and road services. 50 flights from Barcelona's El Prat airport were cancelled or severely delayed on Monday. Weather Service issued red alert for the Catalan coast. The central coastal region of Vietnam is set to experience heavy rainfall for the coming days, bringing a high risk of flooding and widespread inundation to the region. At least 10 people died after volcano Mount Lewotobi in eastern Indonesia erupted, causing major destruction, spewing plumes of lava and forcing authorities to evacuate several nearby villages. The city of Warzata in Morocco witnessed early snowfall after more than 3 decades, transforming the city into a winter wonderland. The United Nations Global Climate Conference will begin on the 11th of November in the Azerbaijani capital, Baku. Several nations will be under pressure at this month's UN COP29 conference to substantially increase the amount of money they give to poorer countries for climate action. The 9th edition of Artex, Africa's premier international art fair, took place in Lagos, Nigeria and concluded last on Sunday. This year's event, themed Promised Lands, welcomed several artists and exhibitors from all over Africa, and the diaspora showcased a diverse range of contemporary artworks. Bran Castle in Romania, renowned for its resemblance to Count Dracula's castle, welcomed costume tourists in search of a true Halloween experience. The site, a former fortress and residence of Romanian royalty, attracts visitors due to its historical significance and its association with Dracula. Mexican families gathered in their local centenaries to welcome their deceased loved ones with a party of food, music, lights and marigolds. Fused with the Catholic festivals of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day, the Day of the Dead is one of the most deeply rooted traditions in Mexico. With giant kites soaring the skies, the community of Santiago in Guatemala commemorated its traditional Day of the Dead celebrations this year. Participants believe the kites are led by winds and guided by spirits until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. When they come down, the families meet at home to wait for the arrival of the spirits. Enthusiasts of the vintage penny farthing bicycle model gathered in a park in Prague, showcasing their skills to an audience of intrigued onlookers. Adorned in historical attire, the cyclists participated in formation rides, synchronized to music, and competed in races that tested both speed and balance. Buckwheat flowers bloom across the Harchian stone plateau, painting the landscape in vibrant shades of pink from October to December each year. These small yet resilient flowers thrive amidst the rugged mountains, drawing thousands of domestic and international visitors who come to admire their beauty and experience the stunning scenery. Riding the current bouncy pig trend, 2 women from Thailand's Uttaratit province have created krathongs that are traditional floating baskets featuring the popular Mutheng during the Loi Krathong festival. Krathongs are made from fish food corn flour in various colors. Loi Krathong is a beautiful Thai festival celebrated on the full moon night on the 12th lunar month, typically in November. Denmark's central bank issued its first coins bearing the portrait of King Frederick X, the ascended to the throne in January. The commemorated 20 crown coin is engraved with the portrait of King Frederick X on one side and Queen Margrethe on the other. Around 1 million of the coins will be put into circulation. Mexico unveiled an exhibition of pre-Hispanic and colonial artifacts recovered from the United States last week. Some 103 pieces from the colonial and pre-Hispanic era were recovered from Texas. The exhibition features selected pieces from northern and western Mexico. Sultan of Brunei attended the adjournment of the Sarawak Regatta Kuching Waterfront Festival 2024 held in the city of Malaysia. Introduced in 1872, the Sarawak Regatta takes place along the Sarawak River, showcasing boat races with participants from various sectors. Quincy Jones, the man known simply as Q, died on Sunday at the age of 91. He was a huge influence on American music in his work with artists ranging from Count Basie to Frank Sinatra. Jones was a trumpeter, band leader, arranger, composer, producer and winner of 27 Grammy Awards. His most lasting achievements were in collaboration with Michael Jackson. Actor Dwayne Johnson, one of Hollywood's top paid stars, was in Berlin to promote his latest movie Red One that will hit the theatres from 7th of November. The action-adventure comedy directed by Jake Kasdan tells the story of Santa Claus's abduction from the North Pole and how an extremely large and formidable agent played by Dwayne Johnson, along with the world's best tracker portrayed by Chris Evans, team up to find Santa Claus to save Christmas. Stars of new movie Paddington in Peru, including Antonio Banderas and Olivia Colman, walked the red carpet at its world premiere in London on Sunday. The film sees the beloved bear back in Peru as he returns to visit the beloved Aunt Lucy. With the Brown family in town, an adventure ensues when a mystery plunges them into an unexpected journey through Amazon. The cast of Wicked walked down the yellow brick road in Sydney on Sunday, the first stop on their global premiere tour. Hundreds of screaming fans lined up for hours to see the film's main stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. The movie is set to release in cinemas on 22nd of November. K-pop star 17 released a remix for their latest single Love Money Fame featuring music producer Timbaland. The 13-man group is currently in the US leg of the 17 World Tour that wraps up on the 10th of November. Australia defeated Pakistan by 2 wickets in the first ODI at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Indian wicketkeeper batter Riddhiman Saha has announced his retirement from all form of cricket on Monday. At Under-19 World Boxing Championship in the United States, India's 19-member boxing contingent wrapped up their campaign after winning 17 medals. India's teenage squash sensation Anahat Singh won the women's singles crown at the Costa North Coast Open 2024 in Australia. India's Atanu Das won the bronze medal in men's recurve event at the Swiss Open archery competition in Switzerland. The Indian pair of Saket Mainini and Ramkumar Ramanathan won the Seoul Open men's doubles tennis title. Indian table tennis star Harmeet Desai claimed 12 titles at the WTT FIDE Caracas in Venezuela on Sunday. Germany's Alexander Zverev won the Paris Masters by defeating home favourite Hugo Humbert by 6-2 and 6-2. La Liga leaders Barcelona beat Espanyol by 3-1 in the Catalan derby on Sunday. And Max Verstappen won a chaotic rain-lashed Brazilian Grand Prix on Sunday, roaring back from 17th on the grid to reignite his push for a fourth successive world title. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere, keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.